No win since December the 14th, 2024. Or the 15th, 2024. We've literally not won a game in a month. We are winless in our last 5 Premier League matches. But truth be told, this wasn't a game where I was expecting 3 points. This wasn't even a game where I was expecting a point. Spurs, we don't travel well here. We don't play well here. We don't pick up points. Could we spoil the party today? Evidently not. We didn't. We didn't spoil the party. If anything, we spoiled our own party. We spoiled our own party, right? We went 1-0 up, right? They got back into the game in under fortuitous circumstances, but we also scored under fortuitous circumstances. See out the game until halftime. We couldn't do that. We gifted Arsenal a goal, like we've gifted Ipswich a goal, like we've gifted Brighton goals, like we've gifted Chelsea goals, like we've gifted so many teams goals. And we just put ourselves on the back burner for no reason. The game was over in the space of 4 minutes in the first half. The game was over in the space of the last 4 out of the last 5 minutes of the first half. The game was over. Because once they go ahead, everyone knows it is very difficult to get back into the game, no matter what adjustments we make. But we give them a leg up. That's the last thing this attack needed, right? This team that have been struggling to score goals, struggling to put away their chances. And make no mistake, I don't want to hear anyone say, oh, they only won because of mistakes. Yes, we made our mistake, but we did absolutely sweet F4 in the second half. We did nothing to trouble Raya. We did nothing to add more momentum to our game plan, apart from bringing on Richarlison towards the end. And I'll get onto our game plan in a second, but I'm just looking at the optics and it's just like, why is this acceptable? Even if I remove the fact that it's Arsenal, even if I remove the fact that it's at the Emirates, a ground where we don't win, even if I take away all those factors, even if we had won today, right, we would have been 1 point ahead of West Ham. We are now 2 points behind West Ham. West Ham, they sacked their manager literally a week ago in Lopetegui. We're 2 points behind West Ham. We are level on points with Crystal Palace. Do you know how bad these teams have been in the Premier League this season? Do you? Do you know how bad these teams have been in the league this season? And that's the territory we're in. But it's fine. It doesn't matter. Spurs are still in cup competition, so it's fine. It doesn't matter. We can lose till Kingdom Come. We can finish 16th for all some Spurs fans care. Apparently, it does not matter because we're still in cup competitions. We're still in the League Cup. We're still in the FA Cup. We're still in the Europa League. So it doesn't matter. 11 losses in 21 games. It doesn't matter. None of these things matter. Doesn't matter, apparently. If you think that, power to you. Me, I can't rock with that shit. I cannot. I will not. It's a joke. It's an absolute embarrassment. I don't care what anyone tells me. Tottenham Hotspur are 13th in the Premier League. 13th. Winless in 5. Today was a big task. A task that we weren't going to overcome. Right? But it does not soften the blow. I'm sorry. It just doesn't. Because whatever angle you look at, it is poor. It's poor. It really is poor. And now we've got a tough away game coming up on Sunday, going to an Everton side with David Moyes in the dugout. Who's to say that we don't drop points there? Who's to say that we don't drop points there? But let me even get onto the game because I thought Arsenal, they locked up shop in the second half. I thought their midfield didn't really let us play through the central areas. I thought their 2 centre-backs were really good. They completely padlocked Solanke. Solanke today was so bad. It was so bad. I'm not going to use it as a reflection on him as a player, but today's performance was pants. He was really, really poor. But he was up against 2 juggernauts of centre-backs. 2 elite centre-backs. And they handled him. They handled him. They handled him. I can't even say anything on that one. I thought he fared better against them at home, but today they handled him. They really, really handled him from start to finish. He was a non-entity in the game, but I can't really begrudge the performance, to be honest. I can be upset with it, but I can also understand it, considering the two centre-backs he's up against and the lack of support he had from anyone else when it came to doing something else to take those centre-backs off Solanke. Yeah. I just think we were just, even the changes, to start off, right? Madison off the bench. He should have started the game. I know he was poor when he came on, but he should have started the game. We should have started with Madison playing a compact shape, but even still, I just I don't even want to go into specifics because I feel like let's actually look at what's caused this defeat, right? The second goal, like why do we have to give away cheap goals? Why? Why do we have to give away gifts? Why is that a thing? Basuma, who was having a good game, it's Jekyll and Hyde. Just when you think he's going to turn the corner, bang, he shows you who he is again. Under no pressure, you run into the danger, you give away possession, but it's okay. You still got players there. Dragusin, who watches Trossard for an age, run and get into our box, and you still don't close him down. And then he shoots on his weaker foot. And Kinski's looked good, but today he was shaky. They forced him to play out on the left. They pressed him well a couple of times. They won the ball back off him a couple of times. And for the goal, he's got to do better. You've got to save that. You can't be giving away gifts like that. They got sweets. Arsenal. They said, yeah, thank you, we'll take that. We can't do it ourselves, so we're going to get your help. Poor. And then the second half was just a complete no-show. Son, invisible. Right? Invisible. He brought on Maddison and Johnson at halftime and completely said, you know what? The midfield's gone now. So he was playing Maddison, Kulusevski and Bergvall in the midfield. Bergvall was probably one of the few players that can hold their heads up high today that played well. I thought he played well. I thought Jed Spence was all right. I thought Archie Gray had a good game. And yeah, I think that's it. The midfield change, it didn't work. It did not work. I thought it was way too early for Basuma to come off the pitch. I know he made that mistake before the break, but he had to have seen that game, in my opinion, because he gives us way more stability and he probably helps with the ball progression as well. He should have stayed on. You should have just made one change, bring on Maddison, leave Johnson on the bench and bring him on later on. In fact, or don't even bring him on, bring on Mikey Moore. Because when you look at the way Arsenal was set up in the second half, they said, you know what, Spurs, we're going to sit in. What you got for us? And we had fuck all. We had sweet F all. Sweet F-A. We had nothing for them. I don't even think we tested David Wright. Did he even have to make a save off a shot on target from us in the second half? Probably not. The changes did nothing. If anything, the changes made us worse, which is crazy. It's meant to have the opposite effect. The changes made us worse, right? I don't know why Kulusevski lost 90 minutes. I get that he's been probably our best player this season, but it's clear to see that his form has tailed off in recent weeks. I know he scored against Tamworth. His form has tailed off in recent weeks, but I also think that's coinciding with the fact that he's playing too much football. Why didn't we do something different there? Maybe bring on Mikey Moore against tired legs, or let Mikey Moore run at Zinchenko or Tierney. Why didn't we do that? We just let that game just drift. There was no head of steam. There was no nothing. There was no increase in tempo from the players, increase in urgency from the players. No more tricks up the sleeve of the manager to try and give us some momentum heading into the final stages of that game. It was just us. It was just bad. I thought Maddison was pants when he came on. Maybe pants is an overreaching statement, but he did nothing. It's not like he was giving away the ball, but he wasn't doing anything on the ball. Didn't really create any sort of threat for Tottenham. Didn't. Brennan Johnson came on and was basically what he normally is, useless, invisible. If no one's creating that run, if no one's creating that cross, for him to attack in the box, he's useless. The changes, they don't work. The guy's so desperate, so quick to bring on Brennan Johnson. How was Brennan Johnson going to help our game plan there? All he had to do was just bring on Maddison, put him on the left, and leave the same midfield free. Or take off Sarr. If anything, take off Sarr, right? And if you want, put Maddison through the middle and put Mikey Moore on the left instead of Son. Give us some urgency, someone who's actually going to take the ball, run at players. We had none of that in the second half. That's what we were missing. Nobody in that front line was willing to run at Arsenal. Even Kulu. Kulu's the one that probably does it more than most. But even him, he was getting snatched up by Gabriel. It's not good, man. I know players are running on empty. I know the energy levels are low, but that second half, it was just pants. It really was. And for me, I said it on the Big Six stream. There was a point in the second half, I think probably like 65, 70 minutes, where I said, yeah, the game's done. It's over, bro. Arsenal at home, as strong as they are, but more importantly, as poor as we've been in possession, moving the ball so slowly, no urgency, no running at Arsenal, no trying to destabilise their mid-block, sloppy giveaways, right? Turning over possession in dangerous areas. We got lucky in the second half, to be honest. They missed big chances. Havertz missing 2 big opportunities because he stinks. And Odegaard also missed a big chance as well. We got lucky because it probably should have ended 3-1. Just wasn't good, man. And we move. 13th in the league. I feel sick.